Here we go. Right. Okay. I'll get kicked off because like this is meant to be like 15 minutes flash funding talk. So I'm really pleased to have you all on the call. And I'm Natalie Jameson. I'm the founder and CEO of the HeroWorks and a few other gigs as well. And we developed this program to really kind of accelerate the learning process for SaaS founders, as far as SaaS founders and their teams, as far as sales go. And, we're a training and development business essentially, but we've been developing, a couple of sector-specific SaaS products around the higher education market. And you get to a point when you outgrow your time and you need to bring on someone else. And we're looking for sales programs out there, and there just aren't really very many training programs which are specifically for this market. So I'm like really trying to find a SaaS salesperson is like trying to find a unicorn, because not only they need to be good at soft skills, they need to be good at tech skills, so their frontline service, as well as they're normally the first line of innovation as well, because you're speaking to our customers and trying to figure out exactly what problems they are prioritizing, so we can take them back and put them in our product roadmaps. So we couldn't find anything, so we designed it. So and then we hooked up with an apprenticeship provider and we aligned the program directly with the apprenticeship standard. So you have two options. You can do it directly with ourselves if there was just one part of the program you were wanting to do, or through our partners, you can have the program fully funded as an apprenticeship. So without further ado, I'm going to just share my screen, hopefully, and this is going to work. The tech doesn't fail me. And here we go. And I'm going to just presentation. Here we go. Can you see that okay?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Apologies if the writing's a little small. I just want to be able to get it all on one PDF. And we're going to send this out to you afterwards. And essentially, we've created a program which is highly focused on the specific challenges of a SaaS, but not just any SaaS, but like a seed stage SaaS, right? Seed to early scale up SaaS. And when we start maturing as a SaaS or as a software provider, we have more fat in the sales team. And if we have somebody who's particularly good at the closing, we can have them developing that part of this, the sale. Or if somebody's really good at the kind of lead gen and the beginning, the top of the funnel, we can have somebody doing that. But really, when we're small, we need this person to be able to do everything. So we wanted to create a program which could rapidly upskill them to be generating that recurring revenue, but particularly handling the whole sales cycle, right? And it's a little bit more complex in a SaaS, because obviously they need to be able to be a tech savvy SaaS person as well. So you're not only helping to kind of, nurture and generate and qualify those leads and close those leads and then onboard them properly and then keep them there and nurture them, make sure that we don't get churn and all of that other stuff. But they also need to be able to answer those questions, that frontline technical concerns. They need to be able to explain the total cost of ownership. They need to be able to explain all of the impact, how do we access it? And then your customer, depending on, if you're B2B, and you're, B2B to B2 government or, like that, you're going to end up with a pretty gnarly tech person on the other end of the phone that you have to sell to, and you need to be able to explain yourself and your product tech stack and all of those other things to that individual. So this program takes them all the way from, when we've got, patchy monthly recurring revenue, it's pretty slow. It's, it's up and down. We're not doing that great at ascension income. So, that once we've got somebody to know, like, and trust us as a customer, how do we increase that cart value and all of that, to all the way from, you know, generating those leads at the outset. So that's where we're starting. And we have this acronym, which is FUTURE. So we start off with really setting the quotas and, you know, all of the KPIs that we need to hit our, you know, aspirations around revenue. So we start off by making sure that we have a laser focused target. And we've got some measures and metrics around that as well. But we're talking about financial and non-financial targets at this point as well. So we're looking at things like churn and, you know, ascension quotas and things like that. So we started with that, and then we go on to the individual, because you know, I've been in sales all my life. My previous life, I was in mergers and acquisitions. I was a deal maker, but I was responsible for you know, finding the leads as well as presenting to credit and all of that. So it was really a 360-degree role, and they pay me a lot of money, but that after a while becomes a hygiene factor. And what I was finding that was that I wanted more kind of personal value alignment with the work that I did. So what we try and really understand from the outset is, what are those individuals' motivators? What are their strengths? You know, what are those skill areas, and what are those areas for development? And we're giving them the ability to really lean into a peer network, because, you know, you do learn a lot from, you know, training and, you know, from your colleagues and what have you. But particularly in a SaaS, when you might be the only or maybe one of two, you know, having that peer network and coaching around that really helps them to build up their mind, kind of like moonshot mindset, you know, like, I can do this, that real confident, competent, credible salesperson. And then going through to the tech savvy salesperson as well. So this really covers not only the tech stack and the product side of things, but also around the prospecting and the sales process as well. So we talk about being able to make your market in minutes with you know, automation technologies, with marketing and sales tech. So we're giving them that introduction and confidence around working with those products out there that can help to shorten that sales cycle. Obviously, we've already covered the fact that, you know, they need to be able to consult and compete and overcome those technical objections or concerns regarding upgrades, regarding total cost of ownership, regarding, you know, deployment, all of those things. So that's really where the tech savvy SaaS sellers comes in. Then again, as I said before, the fact that we want our seller, who is the kind of first line of innovation, we call it, to really understand our personas or our avatars, evolving pains and gains, be able to take that insight, not just from one customer, because we don't want to be building a product just for one customer, but across a whole portfolio, and taking the insight in terms of, you know, oh, hey, hang on, we're getting this as a reoccurring issue from our customers. I think if we you know, created this fix, this product development, we could, you know, increase our revenue, basically, which is what it's all about. And it's about making that customer insight inform our product roadmap. So we're teaching them things like service design and, you know, really understanding, like empathetically understanding exactly what our customers want, and then translating that back to our product development teams. So we build something that we can get paid for, and we can, you know, do things like reduce, predict, and prevent churn as well, because we're responding to things as our customers' needs evolve. And then really down to the being able to pitch and do great demos, but also around the lead generation. So this reoccurring revenue pitch and playbook is about the sales skills, if you like, but the specific sales skills that we need in SaaS. So we are probably going to be June now, but our cohorts and people that are on this are going to be doing something called a demo derby. So if you think about I always think about it like a little bit like a rap battle, where each of them are going to basically demo their product in front of really experienced people who can come from anywhere, from more established scale ups who are SaaS, or investors, or other stakeholders who can give real feedback to these learners on how they're how influential their pitches and demos are, etc. And we will also work with them around preparing to do individual demos as well. It's like you don't do the same demo to, particularly if you're thinking about a large corporate, you're not going to do the same demo to purchasing as you would do your tech team. So it's like about really tailoring your pitch there. And then this is really our license. Ethical sustainable traction is about our license to operate. As I said, I grew up in financial services, so compliance is thrown down your throat all the time. And the last thing we want is to be able to derail ourselves by some huge data leak or reputational issue, and we lose it before we get started. So that will also cover things like kind of cultural intelligence and diversity inclusion, legal, regulatory issues, and also understanding, how to develop markets with increasingly diverse customers. And that's it. So I don't know how I did for time. I'm just at 15:14. So it's 15 minutes for me, and then I'm here for your questions in terms of the how, why, what, where, and all of those sorts of things. So.